Episode 21 and episode 22. Let's go. For episode 21, we have Ichigo finally on the goddamn scene and him obviously showcasing what this man has learned. It was like when he appeared in Soul Society for the first time after he got his Bankai and whooped all the lieutenants. Oh, he might have freaking, he's like, I'm going to get my Shikai. Get that crap out of here. And so we did it again. Also, he has the drip.
Came through dripping, drip, drip. Came through dripping, drip, drip. Came through dripping, drip, drip. Diamonds on my wrist, they dripping.
He's dripped out of his mind! So swaggy!
So it was nice to see Ichigo finally back in action and him just showcasing how strong he even is. So the thing is, the people that Ichigo was fighting was the Bambis, which are Bambietta, Lilito, Meninas, Candace, and Gazelle. Candace was like really upset the entire time, like, why is this guy fighting so hard? What are you doing? And you know, she's the hothead of the team, so you know, she was getting the most damage. But the personalities are pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about that betrayal. End of the episode, Uryu Ishida showed his allegiance to your majesty, because they finally are starting to make a move, right? Ichigo sees Watch and everybody else up there. He was going to go over there and say something to him, but that's when Uryu was like, nah, I got this. And shoots that arrow, shows that betrayal, shows that you are beneath me, Ichigo Kurosaki. So yeah, that really hurts Ichigo and the friend group that was there, and they're like, dang. But again, it kind of be like that. You gotta ask yourself a question here. If you're in Uryu's shoes, what would you actually do? You gotta remember, like, his whole clan, his whole like family, they're all were dead, presumably anyways, right? And he only had his father that was left with him. So to find out that the Quincy's are still alive and well, still strong as heck, would you not want to see what's going on the other side? Especially considering that he has a certain type of hatred towards Soul Society. And it's justifiable, because I keep saying this when I talk about it over on kick.com/Thabreakmaster. You can't really paint the picture that Soul Society is the good guys here, because Soul Society has done some really shady and just crazy stuff. The fact that my Yuri Kurosuke is a captain should tell you something, okay? But it pains my heart to see Kenpachi Zaraki get bodied like this, unfortunately. He had a really tough battle, but he has to fall at some point, right? He has to fall at some point, and so he fell. So I just hope that at the end of the day he's still okay. But now we move on to episode 22. And with this week's episode of Bleach, okay, apparently there was like some discourse going on over on X, Twitter, or what was going on. I was hearing a lot of murmuring. Now, I don't know exactly what was going on, but I have a feeling it was because of a lot of the changes that did happen within this episode. But hear me out. I think the changes that were done here for this adaptation was the right move here, actually. One of the changes was the whole situation with Orihime, Yodorichi coming through, putting her hand through her boobs, and like her having this whole existential crisis about her outfit. Like, all of that was not actually necessary. That should get cut. Right now, when it comes to the 1,000-Year Blood War, if you notice how they're actually adapting this, how they're framing everything, it's much more serious than all the goofiness that is actually in the manga. And for this particular scene, we did not need that at all. This is one of those situations where we actually need to like let that cook. Like, let this cook for Uryu's betrayal, because you really want to actually highlight that this was a really big moment. So when the manga, when they had that panel and all that stuff was going on, it really actually mitigated the whole situation at that time. So yes, I have to admit, it's not needed in any capacity. One other change apparently that was happening, but this could be like a translation thing, so I don't know how big of a change this even actually is. It's the whole thing when it comes to Yumichika versus Gazelle. Because Yumichika has this very interesting line that he decides to say, that Gazelle smells like freaking semen. And is questioning whether or not Gazelle is even a freaking girl to begin with, basically. I mean, Gazelle's character in entirety has been very just odd in that sense in the first place, and is very sexual in a lot of like what they say as well. When it comes to translations, it wasn't like accurate to what the manga was saying, but I feel like it still conveyed what it needed to. But at the same time, I will say that with how the animation was and everything, and how they kind of reacted and how they framed it, it did feel kind of off to me. But we'll have to just wait and see. Maybe the dub will actually drop that kind of line.
Girl, you ain't got no titties, your legs too long. Girl, look at that throat. You suck dick, don't you, girl? Bitch.
Because weirdly enough, like, the dub can get kind of spicy, so I can see them actually saying all that was what was in the manga. So you know what? Let's wait a minute on this. But yeah, but I think that was part of the reason why people were actually upset about it. I don't know if there were some other things. If there was, can you guys please tell me in the comment section? I don't know what was actually going on, but I've been enjoying the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. I've been enjoying this adaptation thus far, and I think they're overall doing a pretty good job for what we got here. So outside of all that nonsense, it was nice to see some familiar faces again. Because we got some of the other Iran cars to come back. Because apparently Zaparo actually had a couple of them still just hanging around apparently. And so Mayuri Kurasuchi decided upon himself to bring them back and put them onto the battlefield. And what's actually kind of funny about this whole situation, because Mayuri Kurasuchi is actually going to be fighting against Gazelle. And Gazelle and Mayuri Kurasuchi kind of have a very similar way of how they treat their subordinates or their people, basically. Because at the end of the day, everybody's bringing everybody back. Gazelle has an ability to make zombies, basically. And Mayuri is just able to bring suckers back. And so he was like, I can't do all this. I can't fight my own people, but these suckers can. So now we're having an all-out war, this whole thing when it comes to the morality of this whole situation. But it's just like, at the end of the day, y'all trying to win, right? Again, let him cook. And it's funny, I have to say this much too, like Mayuri is not sweating this whole battle at all. So he's like, this ain't gonna be nothing. I don't have to worry about this. But it should be fun to see nonetheless. So yeah, for episode 21 and 22, very solid episodes this week. It is moving along very nicely, I have to say, and I'm liking what we're doing when it comes to all these battles and how it's all kind of framing together here. The future is bright like Mayuri's goddamn suit. Blind me. So yeah, please tell me your thoughts in the comment section below about this week's and last week's episode of Bleach. Like, dislike, do what you gotta do. I will catch you guys in the next one. Until then, people, break out the arranca. Do that, man. I was rizzing up everybody in this game. I need to slow down. Man. So I'm kind of concerned. Okay. Wrestler at it again. Look, man, it's the light skin in me, man. It's the light skin in me. It's attacking me right now. He said, do it.